Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Sri Gurave. The latest discovery on the scientific front tells us that there is something called as God particle that they have discovered. When I was reading that article yesterday in the flight, God particle nearly discovered. And according to them, only little hitch is remaining, that the sound that they have recorded, whether the sound is that of the magnetic vibrations or the machine. Sound is there, but they do not know who is making the noise, whether it is a God particle or it is the machine. See? So when I was reading that, a person asked me, Swamiji, do you believe in this thing? I said, I don't know, because our training is different. Our training is, God is not other than you. So how can you see the God in a particulate way? See? It is something like, because our eyes are able to see everything, but the eyes cannot see themselves, therefore they are blind. See, friends, unless this first and the final error of objectification of the subject is given up, we are far away from the truth. Subject can never become an object of investigation. It is something like a wave wanted to see and find out the depth of the ocean, and she dived. Ocean can become the wave can never become the ocean. See, friends. Therefore, here in our Vedanta Shastra, we don't talk about the world. We talk about the experience. And there are different types of experiences. One type of experience is that which is gathered through our sense organs. See? If there are defects in our sense organs, such as cataract, then whatever we see will be limited by, influenced by the defect in the eye. And keeping the defect intact, if we say, these days the world has become very hazy, Earlier during our childhood it was pretty good. Most of the people have this complaint. The other day I was in Calcutta and in some Marwadi's house eating nice food. So one old man asked me, where from you have come? I said, I came from Vrindavan. From Vrindavan I went to Calcutta. Vrindavan has changed a lot, isn't it? Last 40 years. What it was and what it is today. I said, Babaji, please come. I took him near the sink where we wash our hands, and there is a mirror. I said, look into the mirror. 40 years before, was it the same fellow? See? Angam galitam palitam mundam dashana vihinam jatam tundam. So you are allowed to change in 40 years. But the world should not change. See, friends, the Vedanta doesn't talk about only words, but explains the experiences. So one kind of experience we gather through the sense organs. And depending on our abilities and debilities of the sense organs, our experiences will be different. See? What angle we take to look at the world, that angle also changes our experience. See, I'll tell you what is the meaning of experience which is influenced by an angle. See, and once you understand this, how the experience is influenced by the angle, then your all understanding of the text that we are studying is taken care of. Poem on Taj Mahal by 3 different angles. Taj Mahal is the same. The poet is the same in every poet. The first poet was a bachelor. He looks at the Taj Mahal, one standpoint, and writes a poem. तकदीर है मगर किस्मत नहीं खुलती, तकदीर है मगर किस्मत नहीं खुलती, ताजमहल बनाना चाहता हूँ मगर मुमताज नहीं मिलती. One standpoint. Taj Mahal is the same. Then the second standpoint of a lover. तकदीर है मगर किस्मत नहीं खुलती, मुमताज मिल गई है मगर शादी नहीं करती. See? And the best is married. तकदीर है मगर किस्मत नहीं खुलती, ताजमहल बनाना चाहता हूँ मगर मुमताज नहीं मरती. So one experience, 3 standpoints. So what is important in life is not what you have. What is important is whatever we have, how do we experience that? See, friends. Therefore, one kind of experience we gather through sense organs and take those limited experiences as the real one error. Second thing, we gather also experiences through the mind. And when we gather experiences through the mind, here also the quality of the mind will determine the quality of the experience. See, if you are happy, never promise anything to anybody. If you are angry, never reply to anybody. And if you are confused, never take any decisions. See? Quality of the mind will change the quality of the experience. Then the third, the training under which we were brought up right from childhood onwards. One boy I met, maybe about 20 years before, he became a Christian so that he can be exported to England. And he became something like McDonald, John, Tom, Dick, Harry, something. He became Christian and went there. After he went there, he came to know that he is not accepted by the Christian society at all. See? So only for export purposes, he has taken the stamp. But after going there, the truth is revealed. So one concept, that living in this poor country is a very bad thing, let me go to the foreign country. See? All Gujaratis do the same thing. See? And again, when they are 65, they come back to Navsari. Because they begin from Navsari, run around the whole world, and when they are 65, let us go back to Navsari. Because here only there is some sari. There are all only skirts, no sari. See? Then, after we have studied the scriptures, then we get a different vision. After studying the scriptures, what experiences we go through is totally different set of experiences. See? Therefore, when we talk about life, we have to talk about experiences. Not that we have got a big car and a huge bungalow and a big bed, but other than the bed bug, bed bug, there is no company. I got a huge car, but nobody to sit with. I got a big bungalow, but I only keep on mowing the lawns and cleaning the dishes. See? Therefore, when we study the scriptures, what happens is our vision changes. If our vision does not change as a result of the study of scriptures, we are wasting our total life. The problem is only in the vision. The world is beautiful. See? Like behind one Sardarji truck, it was written, बुरी नजर वाले अपनी नजर टेस्ट करा ले. There is nothing wrong in this world. This world is beautiful. See, friends. Therefore, keeping this in view, then we are going to work on our own experiences. Vedanta is analyzing our own experiences in the light of the wisdom provided by the scriptures. Not somewhere else, here and there. Our own experiences. So, we are the experimenter, we are the experimental animal, we are the one who is going to evaluate the experiments, and we are the one who are going to conclude the experiment, and we are the one who will be benefited by our own analysis, not the world. Uddharedatmanatmanam natmanam avasadaye. Here we are for our evolution. This world is beautiful. You don't have to bother about the world. Keeping this as the standpoint, we now take up Aparokshanubuti of Bhagwan Shankaracharya as a text. I think it has got 144 verses, if I remember. Wow, I will write sometimes. There are 144 verses. So I don't know how much time it will take. Maybe one season, 2 sessions, 3 sessions. Accordingly, we will continue this text. The first one is Mangala Charanam, remembering the Lord. Whenever anything we begin, if we think of the Lord, we get Lord oriented. See? Suppose you are starting your car and you remember someone whom you hate. I don't know. And then how your journey will be terrible. If you read Bhagavat, if you read Tulsi's Ramcharitmanas, if you read Yoga Vasishta, if you read Valmiki Ramayana, everywhere this point is brought out. Whenever Lord Rama began his journey, he began his journey happily and cheerfully. Every time, observe next time. See? Whenever we begin anything in our life, we have to begin happily and cheerfully. Otherwise, oh God, I'm feeling such a body. No. If the beginning is good, the work is done. And how do we begin the good beginning in a good way? Remember the good thing. And the good thing is Paramatma. Sri Harim Paramanandam Upadeshtaramishwaram Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam Tam Namamyaham. Sri Harim Aham Namami. I salute to the Lord Sri Hari. Who is this? He is the supreme instructor. You know, before coming here, I was in Goa, and there we had 2 sessions, morning and evening. Morning we had Kathopanishad, evening we had Guru Ki Khoj. When the people, NRIs, come to our country, first thing they want to go for shopping, and that is Guru shopping. Somebody, can you suggest some place where we can get good gurus? Guru shopping. Never start searching Guru in any person. Discover the Guru Tattva in your own heart. And don't be poor. I have got one Guru. Daridri. Look at Bhagavan Dattatreya. He had 24 Gurus plus his own body. If we cannot learn from our own experiences, even God cannot teach us. Bhagavan Krishna failed to be a Guru of Dhritarashtra, Duryodhan, Dushyasan, even Arjuna. So what Bhagavan did? Closed his nose. He has to open his mouth and then put the Guru mantra. See? Therefore, Sri Harim Paramanandam Parameshtaram Ishwaram. So we salute to the Lord Hari, who is the supreme blissful instructor and governor of this whole world, Vyapakam, all pervading, and Sarvalokanam Karanam, and he is the primordial cause, a causeless cause of the total experiences. Again, Loka means experience. Bhurvur Swaha Mahajanaha Tapaha Satyam 7. Atala Vitala Sutala Talatala Rasatala Patala Mahadala lower. These are the 14 kinds of experiences that we go through. See? The experience of a person living in the Dharavi, the experience of a person living in the Kaf parade, the experience of the person living in the heart attack, colony. When there is a Kaf parade, there could be a heart attack colony also. So there will be different qualities of experiences. These different qualities of experiences are called as lokaha. See, Swarga doesn't mean it is a place. You go there through the visa and it is written. The issue of visa by the embassy does not mean you are admitted in the Swarga. Not necessary. They can reject you in that time also. In Kathopanishad, Nachiket describes Swarga. Swarge loke na bhayam kinchanasti na tatra tvam na jaraya viveti ubhe tirtva ashanaya pipase shokatigo modate swarga loke. What is the heaven? Heaven is an experience where there is a total freedom from the fear on account of 6 factors. That is called as heaven. See? Which are those 6 factors? Na tatra tvam na jaraya viveti, viveti, fear. So there is no fear on account of old age and death pertaining to the gross body. Then the second one, Ashana Pipase. Ashana Pipasa, hunger and thirst with reference to the Pranamaya Kosha. No fear. We are going there, but what about food? First thing, food, nothing else. Or Bisleri. Then the third kind of fear is Shokatigo Modate Swargaloke. The fear of the miseries and bad experiences. See? He who is liberated from these 6 kinds of fears, he is living in heaven. So heaven is not a place. Therefore, Sarvalokanam Karanam, the one who is the cause behind all the experiences of life. Now go deeper. Our experiences of all colors and forms are illumined by the eyes. all experiences of all sounds are illumined by the ears and so on. And all these experiences are illumined by the mind. And mind is nothing but the manifestation of this conscious blissful existence. Therefore, Sarvalokanam Karanam means all experiences are supported by this one absolute reality who is referred here as Hari. Hari means Harati iti Hari, the one who loots away everything. Nothing remains. See, water is Hari for the ocean. The ocean is Hari for the waves. See, friends, all our experiences, good and bad, wanted and unwanted, all of them are withdrawn, sucked in, dissolved in this one absolute. To that Sarvakaran, Lokanam Sarvakaranam, that Harim Namamyam, we salute. See, friends, the salutation is like how the ornaments will salute to the gold, how the wave will salute to the ocean, only by one technique. The ornament must give up obsession with reference to name, form and utility. How simple it is. How the wave will offer salutation to the ocean? When the wave gives up the name and the form. The moment we transcend the names and the forms, we are holier than the holiest. All unholiness begins from the name and the form. See, it is something like this. You know, in our country, all the holy places, like the two rivers merging together, confluence of the two rivers, is called as Prayag. Now, why that place is so holy? Because one of the two rivers gives up its name and form. In Rudraprayag, Mandakini gives its name and form. Only Alaknanda is continued further. Where Mandakini has gone, she has dissolved in Alaknanda. Therefore, that spot is holy. From there we come to Devaprayag. In Devaprayag, Alaknanda and Bhagirathi, both of them give up their name and form. From there, Ganges begins. Therefore, Devaprayag is holier than the holiest. Then we come to Prayag, Allahabad. There also the three rivers. So, Yamunaji gives her name and form, and Saraswati ji has already given up the name and form. Therefore, Prayag is extremely holy. And more than that is the Ganga Sagar. In Ganga Sagar, Ganga ji also gives her name and form and gender and becomes Ganga Sagar. And therefore, wherever name and form is given up, that is called as a real surrender. जब मैं था तब हरि नहीं, जब हरि है तब मैं नहीं. See, friends, that is what is called as Namamyaham. We are working on experiences. Throughout this text, we will be working only on the experiences. And if we are able to understand our own experience and learn from them, then pratibodha viditam matam amrutatvam vindate atmana vindate viryam vidyaya vindate mritam. See, every experience reveals the divinity. It is something like, the cathode and the anode. The moment you put a bulb, immediately the light comes. The manifestation of the light reveals the presence of the electricity in the wires. In the same manner, object, sound, cathode, hearing ability, subject, anode. And cathode and anode, they come together, immediately life is manifested. See? Pratibodha viditam matam. Pratibodha, every experience. Matam, the truth is revealed. Therefore, Sri Harim Paramanandam Upadeshtaramishwaram Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam Tam Namamyaham. So Sarvalokanam Vyapakam, the one who is permeating in and through all the experiences of our life. See, Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter. सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टः मत्तः स्मृति ज्ञानम अपोहनञ्च. Smriti, dream, jnanam, waking, apohanam, deep sleep. Mattaha. Sarvalokanam, all experiences of waking, dream and deep sleep, they are supported by this Sri Hari. Where are we looking for the Sri outside? This Anubhuti, this Anubhava is the one where experiencer is not born. It is that knowledge where a knower is not created. Therefore, it is undivided knowledge. It is undivided experience. The division in the experience is experiencer and experienced. When, be attentive, experiencer is the rasana, tongue. Experienced is the rasgulla. When the division between the two exists, it is samsara. When both of them come together, along with the mouth, the eyes also close. Brahmanandam Paramasukhadam. The experience which does not leave any impression on the mind is the experience in consciousness. The experience which leaves an impression on the mind is the experience gathered through the mind. Therefore, Vedanta removes our wrong notions without creating fresh notions. Otherwise, earlier I was a bhogi, now I is a yogi. Earlier I used to go to the disco, now I go to discourse. Earlier I used to go to a drinking booth, now I go to Are Milk only. I is maintained. So one concept is replacing other concept, and thus our conceptual existence continues. See, friends. So, Sri Harim Paramanandam Upadeshtaramishwaram Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Tam Karanam Namamyam. To that cause, because of which every experience is possible, in that we merge ourselves. If the eyes cannot see themselves, how the eyes can see the mind? If the mind cannot know itself, how the mind will know the cause of the mind? The only way is the eyes surrender to the mind. Don't try to see the mind. कैसा दिखता होगा? And let us not struggle by the mind. I want to feel the God. Feel. Awareness has become an outdated word. Feel. Let us develop a new word. I went to one of the places, I won't name you, Sham came with me once. Oh God, it was such a great fun. All kind of noise, dum 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 dum. And Mahatma Ji came, and I was given a front seat, right? So everybody took the flowers and went and offered. I also offered. He said, I won't. I said, don't worry. When I can offer to the stones, why not to the living one? Living stone. And then the lecture started. Awareness has become a stale word. It has lost its charm. God, feel. Feel. And everybody started doing. Cartoons of spirituality. Dear friends, the experience is something like, what will be the experience of the waters when the fish swim inside? When the fish is moving in your aquarium, will the water feel tickling? Hey, don't move. Yeah. If few more fish are added, will it become a load for the water? If all the fish are removed, अब मैं क्या करूं? Think. That experience is Aparokshanubuti. Aparoksha. Paroksha. See, there are different types of experiences. One I told you through sense organs, second through the mind, third through the intellect. So the experience through the sense organs, we don't need any commentary. Through the mind, experiences are only two types, joy and sorrows. And through the intellect, experience is that of the concept, conceptual understanding. But when we come to the experiences with reference to our own presence, all these three faculties become null and void. And yet we have to be communicated. So the scriptures have to use some or the other words. And therefore in Avadhuta Gita, this one word is repeated dozens of times. Gaganopamoham, space like I am. So keep on doing this dharana. What it is like being space. See? Don't keep yourself busy. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Ram. Chai ban gayi? Time. No. Play. Meditation. What it is like being space. Nobody can help you here. We have to live our life. We have to die our death. We have to experience ourselves. Is there any touch method? If the touch method was valid, why Bhagavan Krishna has to give 17 discourses to that Arjuna and waste his time and poetry? He would have touched. Arjuna confused. Don't get carried away by these touch techniques. They are very touchy. Vyapakam sarvalokanam karanam tam namamyaham. So the real salutation is when this laya prakriya is complete. This is what Kathopanishad says, yached vang manasi prajna tadyached jnana atmani mahati niyached tadyached shante atmani. Merge the words in the mind in the individual intellect in the total intellect, the Mahat Tattva, and don't go to the Prakriti, bypass Prakriti, and tadyachet shante atmani, in the absolute blissful self. This laya prakriya is what is called as salutations, which will lead us to the Aparokshanubuti. So if this one verse, first itself, we work on it sincerely. You know, in this Avdhuta Akhyan in Bhagavad Mahapuran, 11th canto, there are 3 chapters which deal with the 24 gurus who were responsible for the wisdom of Bhagavan Dattatreya, including his body. Ultimately, he says, merely Guru will not be able to help you unless you work on what is taught. There is no proxy. We have to work ourselves. So, Vyapakam sarvalokanam karanam tam namamyaham. Now, after having given this introduction about the Aparokshanubuti, now, what is the purpose of the text? We have to lead a life of a purposeful life. There are 2 things. One is nishkama and second is nishprayojan. See? Life should be nishkama, but not nishprayojan. So what is the purpose of the study of this book? Aparokshanubhutirvai prochate moksha siddhaye sadbhireva prayatnena vikshaniyamu. So the purpose is told, Aparokshanubhuti vai prochate moksha siddhaye. This text, Aparokshanubhuti, is addressed for the purpose of attainment of freedom from the relative existence. Moksha does not mean that after liberation suddenly something happens, 2 horns come, and like the avatar you start floating and all around there are glowworms. What happened? Aparokshanubuti. No. Nothing will change around. Everything will remain same. See, friends. Then moksha siddhaya. What is the moksha? What is liberation? That which was bothering us earlier will stop bothering. That which was attracting us earlier will stop attracting. See, friends. Moksha siddhaya. Our perception will change. It is something like this. When we look upon the world as a place for our enjoyment, our approach to life will be different. But if we look upon the world as Ishavasyavidam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat, if we look upon the world as nothing but the God Himself, then our approach, interaction with the world will be of a different quality. It won't be bhoga pradhan, it will be yoga pradhan. Seva, service. So, aparokshanubhutarve prochate moksha siddhaye. And further the teacher says, sadbihi eva prayatnena vikshaniya. See, the wise seeker should vikshaniya, reflect on this. Friends, again I am repeating, Vedanta sadhana is not body oriented. Otherwise, get up early in the morning and go for running from, run for what? To save Bombay. Running somebody, how Bombay can be saved? I have never understood that principle. Bombay, run. You start. Horrible. So it is not a physical body oriented. It is start analyzing your own experiences in the light of wisdom. Mundakopanishad. Parikshalokan karmachitan brahmanaha nirvedamayat na asti akritaha krutena tad vijnanatham gurumeva vigachet samit panihi shrotriyam brahmanishtam. Pariksha lokan. See again the word loka means experience. Pariksha lokan karmachitan. Whatever experience we have gathered through the various kinds of activity, karma that we have done till date, pariksha, re-evaluate. All that we have done so far to get this, to avoid this thing, what is the ultimate bank balance we have other than frustration? Then nirvedamaya. If we sincerely analyze our experiences, nirvedamaya, we are bound to attain dispassion towards the total world. Withdrawal through wisdom is called as dispassion. Withdrawal through ignorance is called as frustration. Both the places there is withdrawal. A person who is in depression, Ambaji ke kya karenge. So everybody thinks, happy, come on, he's now going to go. But it doesn't go. Continues batting. See? Therefore, nirvedamaya. Tulsidas ji says in his Ramcharitmanas, dharmate birati. If we have really lived a spiritual life or the religious life or the righteous life, dharmate birati, we have to have dispassion. And what is dispassion? Dispassion means when presence or absence of things makes no difference to us. Living in that wisdom is dispassion. So, saddhireva prayatnena vikshaniya. Vikshaniya, we have to work on this, understand, contemplate what exactly Aparokshanubuti means. What is the meaning of God realization? What is the meaning of self-realization? What is the meaning of surrender? What is the meaning of abidance in the truth? What is the meaning of freedom, liberation? Unless these things are clear, we are struggling like the meditation. What is the meditation? It is a collective silent suffering in a darkness. It's called as meditation. Collectively we suffer. And when everybody suffers, who will tell, I have suffered? You enjoyed? Of course. Baha maja aaya. I was doing meditation and then, like mera tana dole, mera mana dole. Narayana, that is not meditation. So, saddhireva prayatnena. Now, who has to be practice this? Saddhi. Those who are seeking the truth and nothing else. Sat, nothing else. No compromise on this. We don't want anything short of this. Saddhireva. And then prayatnena. See friends, in one of the places Bhagavan Shankaracharya writes, the amount of efforts that we put to attain happiness in the material world is the same amount of effort we put on the spiritual path, we shall attain. See, take example. Has anybody ever said that earning money is difficult, therefore I don't want to earn money? See? In the same manner, we find out our own ways, above the table, below the table. But we earn money in the same manner. Struggle, discover your own techniques, and then you come to know what exactly we mean by spiritual practice. And when we go to the Mahatma Maharaj ji, kuch mantra de do, acha. Whatever mantra comes in your mind, that is only told by me to your mind. Okay, what mantra has come? Paisa chahiye, paisa chahiye. Very good. Paisa chahiye. See, friends. Therefore, prayatna, put efforts in the right direction and contemplate on our all experiences. Every experience is our guru. If you remember, I had mentioned this in earlier lectures. If we grow wise with our every experience, we will grow wise through and through. But if we do not learn from any experience of our life, we will merely grow old and otherwise. And who are the old and otherwise people? Those who have nothing but complaints about everything and everyone. They are demanding respect. And whenever we demand respect, we don't command. See, friends. Now, the qualification for the seeker is enumerated. Swavarnashrama dharmena tapasa haritoshanat sadhanam prabhavet pumsam vairagyadi chatushtayam. The other day, I was somewhere. After the satsang was over, one elderly gentleman, he came, he said, very nice person. And he said, Swamiji, my punya, whatever good deeds I have done in my past, because of that, I have your darshan. I said, sorry, withdraw that or I withdraw myself. No darshan. So why? I said, basic error. You know, when you do some work on the computer, error number -X283 and the laptop hangs. And the basic error is there. So what is the error? I said, look here. As a result of karma, we get only two things, joy and sorrows. Sadhu Sangha, Satsanga is not the result of our karma. Therefore, here the teacher says, Varnashrama dharmena. When we are following our Varnashrama dharma, means what? Whatever is our obligation towards the world, towards the near and dear, towards ourselves, after we have completed our obligation sincerely, the most important thing that happens is there are no traces of regrets left on our mind. Regret-free mind alone is capable of practicing spirituality with all sincerity. See, friends, any kind of regret you have, suppose you sit for chanting the Lord's name, after you have scolded your daughter-in-law and made her miserable. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. लोगों को कितनी अच्छी बनती है, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Do you think that you will be able to chant Lord's name? The mind has to be regret-free. The mind has to be guilt-free. Two things. Regrets are born out of our earlier wrong commissions and right omissions, and the guilt is precipitated in the form of impressions, because of which we carry the load of the guilt throughout our life. Therefore, first Swavarnashrama dharmena, first spiritual practice. That is why, if you see the Western world, I have the opportunity to go and see why yoga is so popular there. Because there is no mention of anything except you twist your body. Earlier you go into the disco, now you go to the yoga. That's all. Living by the body, for the body, on everybody. There was one person, one Swamiji, he met me somewhere in other country, Europe. So he came and he said, Swamiji, could you believe how I came on this path? I said, no, I don't want to know also. Okay, it's okay. No, but I want to tell. I said, I am ready to suffer. Start. You know, I was staying in London. Young man, nobody known to me. And I was searching for a company. So I was thinking, where do I get a company? Where do I go? One day I read a board, yoga, and a nice picture of some nice girl, with some Bharatanatyam yoga posture, standing on a rock near the sea on one leg and one hand yoga. I can never understand. Incredible India. The percentage of people practicing yoga in our country is insignificant. Who practices that? So, I was getting bored, and when I saw that yoga, I thought, let me go there. At least the picture is good, at least I'll be able to meet her. And I went. And slowly, I started going again and again. And then became a good friend circle. And then there was some satsanga. And then Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. And slowly, I started getting sucked into that. And this is how I became Babaji. आए थे हरि भजन को ओटन लगे कपास. I came to get a company and enjoy my life, but the Lord was so powerful that He pulled me towards Himself. Now tell here, is it the result of the karma phala? Haritoshanat. See, therefore karma phala gives us only joy and sorrows. So what we do, when we do our duties properly, perfectly, mind is liberated from regrets and guilt. Then second thing, tapasa. Tapasya is required for achieving anything in life. And what is tapasya? Tapasya is readiness to give up on your own choice. Whatever is required is called a tapasya. See? If somebody is standing on two legs comfortably, we don't call it tapasya. If somebody is standing on one leg, see, I am reading one autobiography of a Mahatma, not autobiography, biography. He lived for 185 years. So, he did the tapasya for 24 years. He kept his, I think which hand? Left. Left hand he kept like this. 24 years. Can you imagine? Great tapasya. I also keep my two hands hanging down. It is not tapasya. So tapasya is willful acceptance of the difficulties without complaint is called a tapasya. And that is why people go for doing tapasya in the forest. I want to go and do tapasya in the cave. One of the students, he came to me. One day I want to go to a cave in Himalayas and do tapasya. I said, before you go directly to Himalayas, let's go to Karla cave nearby. Try here. And when I arranged for him, I know the Panditji there, I said, go and stay, and then if there is some need, I am always there, you can call me. But I am not going to take my mobile phone with me because in cave I don't know. So okay, don't take. Went there, evening, Panditji closed the door, then Ekvira Devi, and he came down. And there, this is Brahman, Ekameva Dvitiya. And slowly the darkness started, enveloping everything. And then all the sounds of different animals and crickets and mosquitoes and no attached bathlet, no door, no window. How can I do a tapasya here? So he immediately came down. See, tapasya should be comfortable. 5-star tapasya. So he came, now it was so difficult, all mosquitoes, it was impossible to stay there. I said, never mind, never give up. I appreciate your idea. Now what you do, you go home and whichever is your room, which is comfortable, yes, that is very comfortable. Now on the door you write a board, cave. Read it and enter. Close the door. It's only in our mind. Don't you people do? Build a big, huge mansion and say Aparokshanubuti. There is not one leaf there. What is a Aparokshanubuti? See, friends, work on your experiences, not on the matter outside. So, Swadharnashrama, Dharmashramena, Swavarnashrama Dharmena, Tapasa. Now, what is the tapasya? Tapasya is very simple. Live at a zero complaint level. That is tapasya. Whatever level you can tolerate. If you cannot, give up, get away. But our peace of mind is important. See? Like we move throughout the world. Do you think that everywhere people honor us and receive us with great love and listen to us? No, there are who will see that you are tortured with a blunt knife up to the last point. There are. Then that time we take our tapasya is going on. Bhagwan ji kab tak chalne wala? And the real tapasya is never from the enemies. Real tapasya is from the nears and dears. And the nears and dears include everything. Bhagwan Shankaracharya tells, Vishvam pashyati karya karanataya swaswami sambandataha shishyacharya tathaiva pitruputradyatmana vedataha. These are the sources of all the problems. They give you free tapasya. Get married and tapasya free. So tapasa and haritoshanat. Be very attentive. Ishvara anugrahat eva pumsam advaita vasana mahad bhaya paritranat vipranam upajayate. The first verse of the Avadhuta Gita tells us that if we have a little bit of liking, attraction and desire to study Vedanta Shastra, understand Ishvara Anugrahat eva, it is not by our efforts. Binu Hari Kripa mile nahi santa. Sadhu Sangha is not the result of our karma phala. So, Varnashrama Dharmena, Antakarana has become pure. Tapasa, no complaint, ready to accept the world as it is, no reactions. And then Haritoshanat. Hari, the Lord will be happy. Why? At least there is one fellow who doesn't complain. See? One day one person asked me this thing in near Pilani, Chirawa. Swamiji, I want to do some seva to you. What should I do? I said, I am the most miserable person because of the seva. But if you want to do seva, I can do something, tell you something, but I also tell you not do that. What is that? I said, be happy. No, I mean, you just, anything is be happy, be happy. I said, okay, let us finish the darshan. We finished our darshan in that samadhi. And when we are coming out, on the wall was almost 10 feet tall. So you can't see what is inside. So when you are coming out from the gate, near the gate it was written there, from inside, not outside. Remaining happy is the highest spiritual practice. So I took my friend's head and hit on that. For a spiritual practice means what, when it is winter, then Agre Vanni Prushte Bhano Ratra Chubuka Samartita Jano Karadala Prushta Vasa. That is not tapasya. See, friends. Therefore, recognize this. Ishvara Haritoshanat. Ishvara is happy if you are at peace with yourself. Are you happy with yourself? Bhagwan's definition of a devotee. Yasmano dvijate lokaha, lokano dvijate chayaha. He because of whom, he includes she also. He because of whom others are not frustrated. Are baap re Vedanti aa gaya. Bhago. So he who is not a source of nuisance to others and he doesn't take the world as a nuisance to himself, he is my devotee. Therefore, Haritoshanat, then only the Lord will be pleased. And as a result of the blessing and the grace of the Lord, sadhanam prabhavet pumsam. See how beautiful Bhagavan writes. For a person, the natural inclination for the study of the scriptures and remaining contemplative, analyzing one's experiences, withdrawal without efforts, without going into frustration, ever cheerful and happy, this prabhavet, this starts happening. It is not done. See friends, like the other day, one person asked me this question. Swami, when you talk, your lectures are so subtle and there is such a deep satire in that. Everybody is not able to understand. I said, I don't want everybody to understand, otherwise where will I go next time? When he said like this thing, other person asked a question. Swamiji, I got a question, by the way. You told that joke. I could not understand. Can you explain a joke? You can explain Brahman. You cannot explain a joke. If you want to torture somebody, ask him to explain a joke. फिर क्या हुआ? एक लगाओ. See friends. Therefore, sadhanam prabhavet pumsam. These things start happening. Friends, dispassion is like what? When discrimination ripens, dispassion happens. See Bhagwan Shankaracharya, when he says Shushke Nire Kaha Kasaraha, Kshide Vitte Kaha Parivaraha, Jnate Tattve Kaha Samsaraha. How simple it is. Like a mango on the tree, when it is not ripe, it hangs on to the tree. But when the mango is ripe, it just drops without effort. It is not plucked. It is just detached. Without any care where it will fall. See, therefore, Haritoshanat Pumsam sadhanam prabhavet. What kind of sadhanam? Vairagyadi chatushtayam. So, the fourfold qualification for the study of Vedanta is Viveka Vairagya, Samadhi Shataka Sampatti and Mumukshutvam cha iti. This we have studied also in Vivek Chudamani. So, Vairagyadi chatushtayam. These fourfold qualifications are necessary for the one who wants to study the Vedanta Shastra. Is there any quota for the grahasthas? Because we are living in a quota society. Everywhere there is a reservation, there is a quota. Why not in God's realization? So here the qualification. Brahmadi sthavaranteshu vairagyam vishayeshvano yathaiva kakavishtayam vairagyam tadhi nirmalam. How strong words Bhagavan Shankara has used. Brahmadi sthavaranteshu vishayeshu vairagyam. There is absolute dispassion, disgust towards every object in the world, starting from this world up to the position of the Prime Minister. This we can understand. Brahmaji, what do we understand? Therefore, any kind of achievement is totally dispassionate towards yatha eva. Example is given. Kakavisthayam vairagyam. See, suppose you are going somewhere and you are standing there for the bus, steady. So the crow thought that you are a statue. He came and started Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. So will we feel blessed? Acha Bhagavan ki kripa. So without a second's time, we just want to discard it. Kakavishta. And then we don't want to discuss it, in the corporate meeting today when I was coming. When the dispassion is discussed, it is not dispassion. There was in Rishikesh a group of sannyasis. They used to sit around the Ganges, and evening time some kind of topic, some satsanga goes on. And there is to be one educated Babaji, and he used to now and then go and sit there and used to say, what do you people talk of dispassion? I have torn my MSc Physics first class, first gold medalist degree and thrown in the Ganges. That's what is called as dispassion, Vairagya. And every time you say this thing, and Mahatmas are very khusat. So one elderly Mahatma, he said, Mahatma ji, we don't know whether you have torn your degree and thrown in the Ganges or not, but the torn degree is still in your mind. See? Dispassion means even a memory is not left behind. That is why the wise people do not have the ego of wisdom. Because what is wisdom? Earlier I was a fool. That's isn't it? Nothing else. So how can somebody have ego? मालूम है पहले बेवकूफ था, अब कम हूँ. Narayana. Therefore, Brahmadi sthavaranteshu vairagyam visheshvanu yathaiva kakavishthayam vairagyam tadhi nirmalam. That is what is called as real pure vairagya, wherein nothing in this world, presence or absence, should touch us. There are various ways of looking at it. First is this, what I told you, nothing bothers us. Second thing, we have the freedom to indulge. We have the objects of indulgence freely available. We have nobody bossing over us. And yet, we are no more tempted by any enjoyment that is presented to us. That is Vairagya, second degree Vairagya. Third degree Vairagya, ultimate. Yogarato va bhogarato va sangarato va sangavihinaha yasya brahmani ramate chittam nandati 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 eva. He who doesn't have even the sense of enjoyership, he alone has attained the ultimate nirmalam vairagya, the ultimate dispassion. Now, the second qualification of the four is Nityam Atma Swarupam hi Drushyam Tad Viparitagam Evam Yo Nishchaya Samyak Viveko Vastuna Savai. Now, what is the meaning of the Viveka discrimination? Nityam Atma Swarupam hi. Atma Swarupam Nityam. Now, understand this sentence again. I repeat, experience are only analyzed here. Our experience. Nityam eva Atma Swarupam. Do we have the experience that we are not any moment? That experience of unbroken presence Even this sentence is wrong. Experience of unbroken presence. These are only words. See? So that experience of our unbroken presence is called as Atma Swarupam. And this cannot be changed. Swabhava can be changed. See? Earlier I used to be quite alright. Since I started studying Vedanta, I became very confused. So Swabhava has changed. So Nityam Atma Swarupam Drishyam Tad Viparitagam. And Drishyam, the objective world is what? Viparita, exactly opposite Anityam. See? So all that is experienced by us in the world other than our own presence is constantly changing. The other day somewhere on the airport I was sitting and one gentleman came and said, what is your opinion about this all Ramdev Baba is doing and Hazari is doing and about this black money? Do you think it will come and all that? I said, how does it matter for me? If it doesn't come, I am not a loser. If it comes, I am not going to get anything. Then I said, dal roti khao, hari ko guna khao, what else? But is it not being irresponsible? I said, yes, irresponsible. Then I said, then you hang me. See, friends, it is our choice to look at the world from the eye of wisdom. Then this has not happened in the world. It has always happened. Whether it is a Watergate or it is a Pearl Harbor or it is anywhere in every country, everywhere. This has been happening, it will happen. See, friends. Therefore, unless two qualities are there. One is the authority and second is the dispassion. We invest authorities in our leaders, those who do not have dispassion. Like, yesterday's paper, 129 criminals are fielded in the Uttar Pradesh, elections. So now what do you expect? This will continue like this. Then don't waste your time on this. Arati Jana Samsadi. Keep yourself focused on the truth. Because even if you keep on shouting, nothing is going to happen to anybody or even to you. Therefore, focus attention on yourself. Nityam Atma Swarupam hi Drishyam Tad Viparitagam Evam Yo Nishchayaha Samyak. This kind of firm conviction, see, friends, will we ever try to take an iron box and move on the ocean so that all the waves are flattened and the ocean is like a nice starched lungi? It is the nature of the ocean to have waves. It is the nature of the world that it is changing. See, friends. That is why, it is very difficult to walk this path, because without dispassion we cannot. And dispassion cannot come unless there is proper discrimination. Evam yo nishchayaha samyak viveko vastunaha savai. This is what is called as discrimination of the vastu, the reality, from the world. Then hereafter the teacher talks about the Shamadhi Shataka Sampatti, Shama, Dhamma, Uparati, Shraddha, Titiksha, Samadhan. And after that he will be speaking about the Mumukshutvam. So what are these sixfold spiritual wealth? It is called as Shamadhi Shataka Sampatti. Sampatti is wealth. We know only the material wealth. We know the political wealth. We know the military wealth. But the real wealth is this spiritual wealth. Without this spiritual wealth, we can never attain any progress on the spiritual path. What is that? How is that? Is the next episode. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्